Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Smitha. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be transforming myself into a very bronzy Smitha using only Ofra Cosmetics, one of my favorite brands. So I'm super excited. I hope you're as well. And without further ado, let's begin. I've already prepped my skin with a moisturizer and now it's time for primer, and I chose to go with Cool as Cucumber. This primer actually doubles up as a moisturizer too. In case you forget to apply moisturizer, no worries, you can just use this. This has a very velvety texture. It allows the skin to feel quenched as well by hydrating it because it's a moisturizer too. And it also smooths out the skin by filling in all the pores and fine lines. To hydrate the lips, I'm using the moisturizing lip balm in Rose. It looks red, so you may confuse it to be a lipstick. It doesn't really add much color. It adds a tint of pink to your lips, which is kind of nice, but it also hydrates the lips. For foundation, I'm going full coverage today. I'm using the Absolute Cover Foundation in the shade 7. This is, of course, full coverage. It's long lasting and it's a matte foundation, but has that demi-matte, like beautiful satin glow to it, which I absolutely love. I'm using the new one after they changed the formula, and this is just fantastic. It looks so good on the skin. And because this is full coverage, I didn't really bother to apply any color correction on my face before this because this covers up everything on my face. I do have the color wheel from Ofra Cosmetics to color correct, but I just didn't feel like using it because I didn't want to layer up too much. This looks great as is. For concealer and to sculpt the face, I'm going to be using the Dermatones wheel. I'm going to start with a deeper shade to contour in areas where I want my face to look a little bit more chiseled. Nice thing about using an all-in-one wheel is you have so many different shades in here. You can use it for contouring, you can use it for concealing, and of course brightening under the eyes and to chisel your face. And nice thing about these concealers is it's non-drying. But one thing I'll tell you, it's lightweight. It won't give you as much coverage as some of the other concealers, but it feels very comfortable on the face because it's not at all drying. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I like very simple makeup. I like my makeup to look very natural. But today I just wanted to glam up a little bit more, so you'll see me use a lot more than I would usually do. But once in a while, I guess it's okay. I like it that way, especially when I go to special events. I do like a very bronzed look. So you'll see me use a lot more of the contour and the bronzer. I just like it sometimes, and today is that one of those sometimes. And for concealer, I'm using a shade that's almost a close match to my skin tone, and I'm only going to be using it around my eyes and mouth because that's where I have most of the uneven skin tone, and I'm going to blend it out with a damp sponge. Before the concealer starts to crease, I'm going to set it with a translucent powder. I'm using the shade Medium. I'm going to first set it with a brush, and then I'm going to use a powder puff just to spread the powder across my face and even out everything so it doesn't look too powdery. I'm not going to be taking any extra product on the powder puff itself. I'm just going to use what's on my face and spread it across. To seal the base, I'm going to be using the Makeup Fixer, which is a setting spray. This is going to hold the makeup in place and make it long lasting. And it's also going to melt all the excess powder that's sitting on the surface, and it'll make my skin look like skin. For eyebrows, I'm going to be using the Eyebrow Gel, which is a pomade, and I'm using the shade Khaki. It's very easy to work with this product. It stays kind of moist, but after you apply it, it dries up and it's waterproof. It doesn't budge. I'm going to be using it to fill in the sparse areas as well as to shape my brows, and while I do that, I'm also going to be using a spoolie brush to brush my brow hair so the product spreads across evenly. On my eyes also, I decided to do a very bronzy glam. So I decided to use the Ofra Pro palette. This is such a versatile palette. It has such beautiful neutral shades as well as metallic shades. But before I get to the palette, I'm going to be using the gel liner in black all over my lid from my lash line up to my crease. Because I have hooded eyes, I'm going to take the gel liner all the way up to my socket or a little lower than my socket, so I have some buffing space, and I'm going to buff it out up to my socket area. Just like we set concealers because they crease, I'm going to set the gel liner with a black eyeshadow. And then using a neutral brown shade, I'm going to buff it out at the edge so I can soften it, and that is going to be my transition shade. And right on top of this, I'm going to be using this beautiful metallic bronze shade. I'm applying it with a flat shader brush, but you can also use your finger to apply it. And because I'm applying it on a black color base, it's going to look more intense. To tightline, again, I'm using the black gel liner. I'm applying it with the back of a brush which I've kept specifically for tightlining. If you're not comfortable with this method, you can also use a black eye pencil. And then I'm going to smoke out the black eyeshadow very lightly in my lower lash line. And then to lighten it further, I'm using the brown eyeshadow just below that. Using the highlighter in Rodeo Drive, I'm going to highlight my inner corner as well as brow bones. This is such an intense highlighter, all you need is very little. It's time to finish up. For mascara, I'm going to be using the HD Volumizing Mascara, and then I'm going to use some false lashes. The ones that I'll be using today is Hustler by Tati Lashes. And here is the finished eye look. I recently received the Vacay Glow palette set from Ofra Cosmetics. These are a combination of highlighters and bronzers for different skin tones, and they're so cute. They look like they're placed on a sand bed on different beaches. I'm going to start with Sanfran from the Midi palette to warm up my face. I used just a tad bit, but it is such an intense color, so I had to use my powder puff to tone it down. So a little goes a long way. Blush, I'm going to be using Chiclet. I'm going with the matte blush. I don't like too much shine on my face because it's going to emphasize the texture. So I try to use mattes as much as possible. Only where I cannot avoid and I have to use something that's shimmery or shiny, I try to use it in areas where I don't have much texture. Like this highlighter that I'm using, again, I'm using Rodeo Drive from the same palette. It's the same highlighter that I used to highlight my inner corner as well as brow bones. I decided to do ombre lips today, so I'm going to be using two different shades of lipsticks. The deeper one, called Refine, will go in the borders of my lips, and then I'm going to blend it out with the lighter shade called Revive in the center of my lips. I'm going to use a brush to blend everything out so it looks seamless. Over this, I'm going to be using a lip gloss called Blissful. I'm going to apply a tad bit right in the center and spread it out. Again, here's a look at the before. And here is the after. I lightly curled my hair and I couldn't do without my hoops. And here is the completed look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to thumbs up if you did. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I've listed all the products that I used in the description box right below this video, along with my social media links. Let me know which other one brand tutorial you'd like to see by commenting below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon with a brand new one. Bye guys.